Right?
All right, Allentown, what a pleasure to be here. You guys look great. What a wonderful turnout. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm traveling all across the country. You know, people know me and my husband pretty well in Virginia, and we know Virginia pretty well. But one of the great fun parts of this campaign is to get to travel all across the country and get to know you and tell you a little bit about ourselves. So I'm really thrilled to be here for my first time, but not my last time. Now, it is such a treat to be here. This has been a whirlwind last couple of months. Tim got asked to join the ticket on July 22nd. However, that's 70, I've now lost track, 70 plus days, but I do know how many days to Election Day, 32 days, right? And it has been a whirlwind, but it's been a pleasure and an honor. We are so thrilled to be working with the most qualified candidate to step into, when she is elected, as President Obama said, when she is inaugurated in January, she will be the most qualified person stepping into that office in many decades. And on top of that, we'll be breaking the glass ceiling. Her promise that we're going to build an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the top. That we are going to be stronger together, that we're going to bring people together and not tear people apart and put people down and divide people. And that finally that we're going to make the country stronger in the world and help build a world that's safe for everybody using our military strength but also our allies. Those fundamental promises are so crucial, and it's so clear that we must elect Hillary Clinton as our next president. About myself and then a little bit about my husband, but really I want to talk about you because you all are the most important people to this election. I'm guessing some of you had a chance to watch Hillary in her first debate. Didn't she do great? And some of you may have had a chance to watch my husband do his feisty Irish thing. And he's gotten a little ribbing, including from me, for being a little too feisty. But the truth of the matter is there's some very stark differences, and he gets passionate about them and passionate about making sure everybody knows what we're getting ourselves into. Dalton, you did such a nice job helping make that case. And, you know, isn't it remarkable when these young organizers, I mean, he graduated from law school, he clerked for a judge. You know, he could be doing 1,000 things right now. But what's he doing with his fall? He is here in Allentown helping make sure that you are able to get the word out all across this community how important this election is. So, you know, I was a legal aid lawyer right out of law school. I kind of like to think my path paralleled Hillary's in some ways because she went straight to the Children's Defense Fund from law school. And I went from there to, I was a juvenile and domestic relations court judge. I went from there to working on foster care reform when my husband was elected governor. I got to know kids coming up through the foster care system in my juvenile court time, and gosh, those kids are just some remarkable young people and absolutely need family just as much as everybody else, and worked hard with Virginia successfully to reform our system to make sure, especially our older kids in foster care, were often not having permanent family, and we worked to right that. And then went on to work in the community colleges in Virginia, helping young people coming out of foster care get into higher education, and was there when Governor McAuliffe, who's a very close friend of the Clintons going way back, asked me to serve as Secretary of Education 2.5 years ago. I had been a long-time passionate advocate for public education. I'm a product of public education. Thank you very much. My kids came up through public education. My kids went to the same inner city public schools that I went to in Richmond when I was a kid, and actually that I helped integrate when my dad was governor of Virginia. He was the Republican governor of Virginia, but back in the day when there were, you know, Party of Lincoln Republicans, right? And made racial reconciliation central to his work as governor, and we helped integrate those schools back in 1970, and my kids got a great education in that same school system. and therefore was very, very proud when Governor McAuliffe asked me to serve as Secretary of Education, and I would be serving there for a long time to come, but for when Tim got tapped, I asked Hillary and her team, how could I be helpful? They said, we would love you to be going out all across the country. And I said, I am all in, and went in the following Monday and resigned my job and said, I want to be all in for Hillary. And it's been just such a treat to be doing this since then. While I was doing all that, Tim went from being a civil rights lawyer to a city councilman to a mayor to a lieutenant governor, and now serving in the Senate, very, very engaged in the Foreign Relations Committee, Armed Services Committee, working on such important issues for our world, and now here, doing this important work. And I want to tell you one more thing about my husband. I'm not going to talk about Hillary. You all know so much about Hillary. You also know she's going to do a phenomenal job at her next debate on Sunday night. That's the next debate is, it's this town hall format, and so it's talking directly to voters. And that Hillary's ability to listen, I've gotten to watch her some when we've been on the campaign trail, to listen to individuals and to hear their concerns and to relate those concerns. She is a policy wonk, no doubt about that. She's very serious, but don't we want somebody who's serious for our this most important office in the land? But she is also a listener. She is she's a multitasking mom and grandmom, and she will do that format where it's talking directly to voters, undecided voters in a town hall format. She's going to clean up, and we're all going to be so proud. My husband's, I want to tell you, I said I would tell you one more thing about my husband, then I want to talk about you. My husband, well, there's so many things we're proud about being part of this ticket, but I think the thing that he is proudest about and most excited about is this opportunity, really this extraordinary opportunity that he gets to be part of history, because not only are we going to have a woman at the top of the ticket, but what a chance to be a strong man supporting a strong woman at the top of the ticket, right? I mean, he's had so many strong women, myself included, I like to think, supporting him in so many different ways, and he has supported my career absolutely. But he's had women campaign managers, women in his cabinet, but this is the chance to be. And there are a lot of strong men. I bet there are some out here in this room who, you get it. You can be in all kinds of different roles, but given the opportunity to be a strong man supporting a strong woman, what a great chance to really help make history. He is relishing that more than anything. You are the most important people in this campaign, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This is a race that's going to be close. I don't like that fact. It should be 90-10. It should be locked down long ago. My husband is my best political advisor. Is it Miss Patricia and Miss Sharon? Miss Patricia and Miss Sharon. My husband says that this was always going to be a close race. He said this a year ago. He said, it is never easy to make history. And I bet some of you have made some history somewhere along the way. You've pushed some barriers, and you know that is just never easy. He said, long before we even knew who the candidate was going to be on the other side, that if we're going to break that glass ceiling, if we're going to push forward finally, 96 years after we finally got women the right to vote, to elect our first woman president, no matter how qualified, no matter that she is the most qualified and experienced and has the temperament and the judgment, no matter all of that, breaking barriers is never easy, and therefore it's going to be hard. And so it is going to be close. It is going to be close here in Pennsylvania. It is going to be close in my home state of Virginia. It is going to be close across the nation. But I'll tell you a secret. When you put Pennsylvania in the plus column, it really is checkmate. It's almost no way for the other side to win. When we put Virginia in the plus column, it's checkmate. We're not going to be waiting up for hanging chads in some distant state. We're not going to really have to wait up for the California returns. When Pennsylvania and Virginia come in the plus column for Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine, we can all go to bed knowing that our next president is going to be Hillary Rodham Clinton.